Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. What about you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, my name is Eva, and
Mhm.
what is your name?
My name is Mohammed, and I'm from Morocco.
Nice. From Morocco. Yes, very nice. I am from the United States.
Pleasure to meet you.
Very good. Yes, nice to meet you too. And why are you learning English on Cambly?
I'm learning English because I want to improve my speaking skills, and also I want to, encourage people to learn English too. I kind of love
Okay,
English, and I'm passionate about it.
that's great. Very good. Very good.
So what can
Um,
you teach me today? Do you have
What can I
anything
teach you?
special for
Well,
me?
let's see. What would you like to do? We can obviously just talk or have conversation, or we can, if there's like a certain topic that you would like to talk about, we can like just to kind of practice
Yes,
the
I want
vocabulary with
I want
that.
to talk about a special topic, polygamy. If it
Polygamy.
can
Okay. Very good.
because yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about
All right.
polygamy? And I need to know the what do you call it? Pros and cons, or what do you call that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think,
The
yeah.
is there any advantages of being in a polygamy relationship?
Yeah. Well, I think like there's kind of two kinds of polygamy, right? There's one man having many wives, or
That's the
there's
one I am talking about.
one wife having more than one husband. And so obviously, like in the Arab world, in the
Yeah,
like in Africa, we tend to have more just one man with like
it's rare.
four
It's
wives.
rare now, but just now it
Yeah,
starts to disappear.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's right. So I think like if you're asking my opinion, there are pros and cons for polygamy or against polygamy, but what would you say are some of the either the pros or the cons? We can start with either.
I think for me, I think for it will provide like a social safety if it's able to use this expression. For
Sure.
example, widows, and divorced women, they can have
Mhm.
another chance to get married again.
Okay.
I think it could be you know a good chance for them. And on the other hand, it can create, conflict between, women. Yeah.
Sure.
And yes, so that's my opinion. What's yours?
Yeah. I think well, maybe like the foundation of my thoughts are that
Mhm.
marriage is something that's so sacred. So we can say it's so like it's not something that's just something little. Like it's a big thing, marriage. And
Mm,
so I think, for in my opinion, if it's just between one man and one woman, that makes it even more special and more sacred.
mhm.
Just the man and the woman are committed to each other. Whereas
Okay.
if one man is maybe has more than one wife, then it takes away some of the like the specialness or the connection between that
Mhm.
man and his more than one wife. That's my opinion. Yeah.
All right. So can you teach me some idioms in English?
Some idioms, sure. You like idioms? Okay. Well, let's pull up. I'm going to pull up a list of them. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Because I feel like some of the same ones sometimes people just kind of know the same ones. Let's see here. Here's a nice one. Maybe it's a really good one, but it's maybe not the most common. Blessing in disguise. Yeah, I'll type it here for you. Have you ever heard anyone say something as a blessing in disguise?
To be honest, it's the first time I.
A blessing is something that's nice and a beautiful thing,
Yeah,
usually from God. But do you know what a disguise is?
not really, no.
No,
What mean?
a Disguise is where somebody or something tries to look like something else. Maybe, oh, I don't have, maybe I, as a woman, wear a beard and
Okay.
I wear my hair up. So
Uh,
I try to see if I pretend I am like a man at, I don't know, try to get a better deal on a car. I don't know why. That's a disguise. I try to look like something else. Or
yeah.
maybe a blessing in disguise means something seemed not good. It did not seem like a blessing, but it was a
Oh,
blessing in disguise.
I
Maybe
understand.
today I say, oh, it's raining out and now I can't go to see my friend because it's raining. Oh, but it's a blessing in disguise because then maybe, I don't know, 3 friends came to visit me. Blessing in disguise. That's a good one to know.
Tell me more. I'm
Oh,
hungry.
you're hungry. Let's see here. The ball is in your court.
The
The
ball
ball,
is in your courts. Okay,
yes.
let me guess. Is that area means that you have the choice
Yes,
to play?
exactly. Yes, that's right. Very good. Very good. Yes,
Thank
the
you.
ball is in your court.
Okay, the word courts itself, what does it mean exactly?
So a
Speak.
court is the place where you play a sports game, but it's usually like it's not doesn't have grass. It is
Okay.
hard. So like basketball,
Yeah. Yeah.
tennis,
And
volleyball.
I'm confused because there is another noun that's the court that we have
Oh,
judges. What
yes,
is
yes,
the difference?
yes, yes. That is the same word. That's right. That's this. It's also the
What do we call two names that have the same writing but different meaning?
yeah. I think that's an antonym, but let me just double check. Mm-hmm. Yes, two different. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not an antonym. It's a homonym. So I'm going to write that word for us here.
Harmony. It's
Mm.
not the autonomy, it's harmony. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yes.
Oh, all right. I'm
Mhm.
sorry if I ask you many questions, but
No,
that's
that's
my
good.
nature.
That's great. Yes.
Because I'm an Arabic teacher, by the way.
Oh, مرحبا. أنا كمان بكلم عربي بس مش بالمغربي.
تتكلمي بالمصري؟
مش مصري.
وين
قريب من
اتعلمت
مصر. أردن.
وين اتعلمت
أردن.
العربية؟
في الأردن.
Have you been to Jordan?
Yeah, I lived in Jordan for 10 years. Mm-hmm.
Oh, how come?
How come? I worked in Jordan as a doctor. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me your do you call it your the major or what do you call it?
My specialty. Mhm.
Specialty. Yes, that's the one.
Specialty, yes. It was well in Jordan. I worked as a volunteer doctor, or like
Okay.
for an NGO, and so I did everything, just kind of everything that was needed for refugees.
Oh,
And
okay.
and then, but in
That's
the
a
United,
novel.
thank you, thank you. But my actual specialty is intensive care.
Intensive care. Okay, so tell me more about that. What does it
Yeah,
mean, intensive?
the intensive care is patients, they're just in the hospital and they are
Okay.
very, very, it's usually we
Oh,
have an intensive care unit or an ICU that because maybe
mm-hmm.
they had a really big accident, trauma accident, or they're very, very
Oh,
sick.
okay. It's like
Yeah.
they need special care.
Yes. 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 Exactly. Yep. That's my specialty. Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. You're a doctor. And did staying in Jordan for all this period?
I did. I did. Yep. I hope to go back someday.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you very important question. How
Okay.
how did you start? How Arabic is a foreign language, so how did you learn Arabic?
Well, first of all, when I was in university, I lived with Arabs. So that not like I learned it fluently by any means, but at least I got the
Basic.
ear for it, just kind of the sound.
Okay.
And then I studied in Jordan. I went to university and studied.
So did you start with the listening or grammar? Which one did you start
Yeah.
with?
So I actually started first in not the university, but in a center where I would not say they started with listening and the letters. Their kind of philosophy was you can't speak Arabic unless you know how it's spelled, because obviously each letter has a different sound, of course, but you have to be able to like hear the letters and the sounds in order to make the words. And so they were really big on listening and then grammar. And then I went to university and studied like actual real grammar. Yes. But I still we don't actually ever speak in, or very rarely speak in Fusha. So my Fusha is very weak still. Like my
Yeah.
Amiya is strong, but my Fusha is weak.
Give me one sentence in.
Oh, see, I don't
Yeah.
even know. I will have to think through it so much. The other tricky thing is that
Yeah.
my job now in the US, I speak Arabic. It's in Arabic, but
Really?
it's only spoken Arabic. I don't do
Ah.
any writing in Arabic because all my patients are Arab refugees.
Ah.
So I like I haven't had to read Fusha for so long. I just speak it. It's very weak. So I
Okay.
practice every day my Amiya, but
But I think you've done good work since you can speak in
yeah,
the dialects. I think
I
Jordan
try.
dialect is good.
Yeah, but Moroccan dialect is not. I just Moroccan dialect. It's so different than
I tell
so
you one
different.
fact: we can understand all the Middle East accents or
Yeah.
dialects, but they can't understand ours.
Yes.
Us and also Algeria are
Yeah.
similar. We're
Sure.
speaking out
I did
nice.
study for 2 months in Algeria, but only 2 months wasn't enough to really
Okay.
be very good, and that was 11 years ago. So I
You know
forgot
what I
everything from 11 years
the
ago.
problems that I have with English is when it comes to using the profound grammars like present perfect continuous, future
Yeah.
perfect continuous. Those tenses are difficult. Sometimes
Yes.
you can get confused which one
Yes.
I'm going to use.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always tell people like it's actually very rare that we need to say something in any of those tenses. You can usually say something in another tense and it's a lot easier. Yeah.
And I want to know the difference between past and present perfects. I don't really know the difference. It's very
Yeah.
hard.
Past and
Yeah.
present perfect. Sure. I had a nice little graph, but let me see. No, I don't think that I
But
can.
just tell me, is it important to know all the grammar or just you can ignore it?
I think you can I wouldn't say ignore it, but you don't need to focus on the really complicated tenses. Like you should know
Okay.
past simple, and
Okay,
present.
I'll tell you something. Is the past, present, and perfect enough for me to speak in English well?
I think it is. I also think those are like a great foundation. And then I do think talking in the passive tense is good to know if you
Ah,
ever want to apply to universities or write anything formal for the US or anything in the West. Yeah.
and also
So
the conditional, right?
yes, it's the same. Yep, same vein.
Yeah,
I'll never say completely ignore all grammar, but I don't think it needs to be our main focus.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because when you see really how you did understand, okay, English expressions that you are using in your daily conversation.
Hmm.
So it's from your listening, your daily listening.
Yes.
For example, I
Yes.
used to watch movies a lot and listen to podcasts, and that's
Hmm.
how I, memorize some expressions that I'm using now.
There you go.
And the fact that they become natural to you is it's not by grammar or something, just by repeating them and
Yes.
imitation also. That's how
Yes.
I get my level in English, especially
Yeah.
speaking.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think that's the way
What
to do it.
yeah, what do you
Absolutely.
think about my English level? Do you think it's a bad level or what?
No, I think you're doing quite well. Yes.
Yeah,
I think
thank
you're
you.
doing quite well. Like
Thank you. So
everyone, there's a little fine tuning, but your grammar when you speak is actually quite good in general. So good job.